I am here with Christopher Butcher, the amazing manager of the Beguiling comic book shop in Toronto, Canada, Toronto, California. It's where I wish it was a little closer to California.
Yeah.
And the director, the spearhead of everything that is TCAF, the Toronto Comic Arts Festival,
Yeah.
which is what we're celebrating this weekend here in Toronto. And I have some fabulous questions for you. Are you all
Okay,
set?
shoot, yeah, let's do it.
Excellent. When did you first get interested in working with comics?
Jeez, I actually didn't ever want to work with comics. It was a hobby, and I was 16, and my friends were all like, "Oh, there's a comic book store that just opened up down the street," and I was kind of loyal to a different store. And you know how it is, like your store is your store, and it's like, but they're hiring, and I'm like, I wouldn't mind money. So I went in and I had a chat with the owner, and I proved that I knew a lot about comics, but I had never really had a retail job before. And I was a little bit worried about turning my hobby into something that I would have to like go and work at, but you know, I started it there, and it's been, I think, 16 years, 17 years this year, and I haven't looked back since. I think I've been unemployed by comics for about a month and a half.
Wow.
In that time.
When did you start working with the libraries here in Toronto?
You know, I started working at the Beguiling in 2003, 2002 really. I was a customer before then. And the Beguiling has had a long history with the Toronto Public Library system and with schools and whatnot in the area. The Beguiling has almost always built their comics and graphic novels section. Now, there was a bit of a hiatus there, I don't know if you remember, because they couldn't tell what comics and graphic novels were. It didn't have a Dewey Code, or they weren't sure to just put it in like a browsery collection. So there was like 3 years there where they just didn't buy any comics at all because they couldn't figure out what to do with them when they did. And so they just started picking comics up again the year I started working with the Beguiling. And really, that was, I think, 2003, 2004. And since then, we've built up, you know, I honestly would say that the Toronto Public Library system has the best collection of comics of any library in North America. They are so committed to the form and the medium. And as you can see, if you want to do like a little walk around, I mean, they've just got comics and graphic novels on every surface this weekend, trying to encourage people to use the library. And we're big fans of that, even though I'm a retailer. Anything that gets people reading comics in a regular way, whether or not they're you know, as long as they're reading them legally, I'm totally on board.
Fantastic. What graphic novels or comic titles have you read in the last year that you think are perfect for kids?
You know what? One of my favorite books of the year last year was Walker Bean from First Second Books. And that was one of my favorite books, not one of my favorite kids' books. And the fact that it's for children intended for a younger audience, I guess, is phenomenal, because it really shows the care and attention and craft in North American comics that's being devoted to work for children, where that wasn't the case for the longest time. And even to this day, like, we all see like cash-in books and things like that it's unfortunate that they're there, but they're there, and there's maybe a market for them. But really, you know, the fact that people are putting that much effort into and work into books for younger audiences is amazing. I also love Eleanor Davis's stuff with the Secret Science Alliance, which I hope she'll come back and do another one someday, but it really looked like it was as labor intensive as it was. You know, Jeff Smith I've long been a fan of his, although he's moved to Razzle now, which I'm loving.
Yeah.
The Bone series has been a consistent seller for us and a personal favorite. And going abroad, actually, I really like the Tiny Tyrant series and the Little Vampire series that First Second's publishing. I also like Sardine, but my heart's kind of more for Little Vampire. For Spar stuff. So, yeah, I mean, and to be honest, I mean, I could just rattle off books all day. There's so much quality material coming out now. It's really excellent.
Well, speaking for yourself then, if you were stuck on a desert island with only one book, and it can be comics or prose,
Okay.
and this is the librarian like ringer question.
Sure.
What book would that be? You know that you're going to be rescued, so it doesn't have to be self-help.
You know, I've actually never given that a lot of thought. I was just, my glib response was the never-ending story, because there'll always be another page.
Right.
Yeah, I guess the book that I go back to and read the most often is probably Grant Morrison's Invisibles. I read it every couple of years, and I just find I find something new in it every single time, and it's caused me to go and read other things to sort of see what he's pulled into it and stuff. But really, there's so much in there that I feel like, you know, after having read it the 7th or 8th time from book 1 to book 7, I'm just starting to get everything that's in there. But you know, there's always another read.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate it. And
Thank
this
you.
is honestly the best convention I've ever been to.
Oh,
It's
thank
amazing.
you so much.
Thanks
I really
again.
appreciate it.